It's the 20th anniversary of everyone's favorite futuristic animated sitcom, which beat Lost at its own game by actually paying off mysteries in a truly satisfying way. Shots fired.
I challenge you to fisticuffs.
I'm coming for you, JJ. No, I'm not. This is everything you didn't know about Futurama. The name Futurama was inspired by an exhibit at the 1939 New York World's Fair held at Flushing Meadows Corona Park in Queens. This was also the site of the 64-65 World's Fair, where Walt Disney fine-tuned his company's audio animatronics. It's a Small World debuted there, and is also the site of the flying saucers at the end of Men in Black. And I just totally spoiled a 22-year-old movie for you, but guess what? If you're old enough to vote, you're old enough to not be a spoiler. It makes sense in my head. So that's how Futurama got its name from the 30s. And it doesn't sound like it came from the 30s somehow. I mean, when you say it like this, when you're like, Futurama, I got your Futurama right here. Say, what did you think of that talkie? Then yes, it sounds like it's from the 30s. But you could say anything like that. Watch, like, internet, and it sounds like it's from the past. The 1939 fair housed an exhibit called Futurama, which was an enormous scale model of what life would be like in the near future. A future that probably looked nothing like this. I mean, women in pants just talking? Hot dog, the future is cool. There's even a callback to the World's Fair when Fry first wakes up in the year 3000. The theme of the fair was building the world of tomorrow, which served as the inspiration for Terry's favorite catchphrase.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Why do you always have to say it that way?
Haven't you ever heard of a little thing called showmanship?
While Futurama is the name that stuck for the show, it wasn't a top contender for co-creator Matt Groening. There was a long list of possible names. Doomsville was my #1 choice, and my #2 choice somehow was Aloha Mars. Those were roundly rejected by everyone else with the show, which is good because Doomsville kind of sounds like we're ratings for the show Aloha Mars, Go to Die. Futurama was developed by Simpsons creator Matt Groening and longtime writer David X. Cohen. The X doesn't stand for anything, by the way. His real name is David S. Cohen, but there was already a David S. Cohen in the Writers Guild, so he changed the middle name to just X. I'm gonna say it stands for xylophone because I can. Who's gonna fact check me? David Xylophone Cohen, it's canon. It rolls right off the tongue. I love it. Think about it. Futurama gives us a glimpse into a hilarious dystopian future filled with evil robot Santa Clauses, talking heads, literally,
I've become bitter, and let's face it, crazy over the years.
and whatever this is. And for anyone who's not familiar with Futurama or just thinks it's a copy of The Simpsons,
Bite my shiny metal ass.
Bender's words, not mine. The two shows share talent, similar animation styles, and strong character relationships, but Futurama maintains a distinct point of view. Its stories are set in New York in the year 3000, where the main characters work for an interplanetary delivery service called Planet Express, taking viewers into space, to alien planets, and even the moon.
Hi, I'm Craterface. Welcome to Luna Park.
Just maybe not the moon quite like you'd expect it.
I'll have to confiscate your alcohol, sir.
Futurama is rich in references to its science fiction predecessors. This is a direct visual reference to this, the famous shot from the 1902 French short film A Trip to the Moon, which is widely credited as the first sci-fi movie ever. Though I'd say it's more of a horror movie. I mean, just look at that creepy dude in the moon. You know he's controlling our tides for his own evil purposes. Avoid the beach. I always do because I get a sunburn, and skin cancer runs in my family, so I'm not f***ing around with that. Futurama also sets itself apart by tackling heady science fiction concepts. In the episode Time Keeps on Slipping, Professor Farnsworth creates a rift in the space-time continuum when he speeds up time just so he could beat the Harlem Globetrotters in basketball. Worth it.
I'll put you globe-trotters in your place with my team of mutant atomic supermen.
That must feel so cool. What also sets Futurama apart is its dark sense of humor. I mean, pitch black. Not the movie starring Vin Diesel, but a different thing. With stuff like suicide booths.
You are now dead. Thank you for using Stop and Drop.
Stock market crashes. And robots that like to party.
What kind of party is this? There's no booze and only one hooker.
Then you have moments that I swear they made just to make you cry your eyes out.
For 1,000 summers, I will wait for you.
I mean, Seymour the dog waited 12 years. I won't wait 12 minutes for my husband to come out of a store. I need a tissue. Dogs are the best. Dogs are the best. Okay, I'm fine now. The show follows Fry, who's an idiot. I mean, that's harsh, but I'll let his actions speak for themselves.
What the?
But he's a lovable dummy.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah, I asked a cop once. It means up yours kid.
Emphasis on dummy. And we love him for his flaws, not to mention his sincerity, heart, and childlike joy in the face of despair.
I'm breaking up with you.
We were going out?
Fry's look was modeled after none other than James Dean from Rebel Without a Cause. And Fry's full name is Philip J. Fry, named after Phil Hartman, who passed away before production began. Hartman was slated to play Zap Brannigan, the egotistical doofus who leads the forces of the Democratic Order of Planets with little military acumen and a lot of space-based sexual innuendo.
She's built like a steakhouse, but she handles like a bistro.
Brannigan is based on William Shatner with his bravado, tight clothing, and dramatic line deliveries.
The alien mothership is in orbit here. If we can hit that bullseye, the rest of the dominoes will fall like a house of cards. Checkmate.
But the show's connections to Star Trek go even deeper. The crossover episode, Where No Fan Has Gone Before, reunited much of the original cast.
Cool, a Star Trek convention.
Both Fry and Brannigan are played by acclaimed voice actor Billy West, whose voice you know from other popular 90s animated shows like Doug. He played Doug and Roger, that's like playing God and Satan, and from Ren and Stimpy, where he just played Stimpy. Less impressive, but cool, good for him.
How can you be so insensitive?
On Futurama, West also plays Professor Zoidberg, the crew's doctor who's basically a giant lobster that loves eating garbage and watching the Three Stooges. So, kind of my dad. West also voices Professor Farnsworth. The man is busy. Oh, man, he must rake in those residuals. Damn. Farnsworth is the eccentric scientist who founded Planet Express in order to fund his zany studies, and hates hippies.
Get the hell off my property!
You can't own property, man.
I can, but that's because I'm not a penniless hippie.
He's 160 years old, and Fry's distant nephew, which is how Fry ends up working for him upon his arrival in the 31st century. Nepotism at its finest. Farnsworth is a brilliant inventor named after a real-life brilliant inventor, Philo Farnsworth, who invented the TV. And I need to know why he didn't call it the Philo or the Farnsworth. Can you imagine if you were like, hey, can we put it on the Philo or the Farnsworth? It's so much better, the television. Ugh, what a stupid name. Anyway, without him, I wouldn't be here today.
This is only on the internet.
What? Okay, I need to talk to somebody real quick. What do you mean this is only on the f***ing internet? What? I'm in hair and makeup. What the f***? The professor's inventions drive many of the show's plots, especially when they go haywire. Some inventions are more useful than others.
I've invented a device which allows you to operate equipment from great distances. I call it the Thinglonger.
In The Prisoner of Benda, the professor invents brain-swapping technology that allows him to switch bodies with crewmate Amy so he can experience youth again. It causes a chain reaction that makes the entire crew swap brains. But in classic Futurama fashion, instead of restoring normalcy using cartoon logic, show writer Ken Keeler, who holds a PhD in mathematics, which sounds fake, invented a working theorem to return to status quo. For showrunner David X. Cohen, the episode represented a new frontier for humor. It's not at all self-aggrandizing. I was very excited about this because you rarely get to see science, let alone math, be the hero of a comedy episode of TV. Maybe some of that math and science rubbed off on Bender.
Have you ever tried simply turning off the TV, sitting down with your children, and hitting them?
Or Maybe not. The voice we know and love as Bender's could have been the voice of the Professor. Bender voice actor John DiMaggio initially auditioned for the role of Farnsworth using Bender's voice, but producers didn't think it was a fit. We're lucky he was cast as Bender, because that voice really adds a highbrow touch to his antics.
I'm dying. I need mouth-to-ass resuscitation.
I'm on it.
Hermes, voiced by Phil Lamar, is the Planet Express accountant whose responsibilities include finances, making sure the crew abides by the rules, and spouting off a slew of trademark nonsensical exclamations.
Great cow of Moscow! Sweet giant Antita of Santa Anita! Sweet lamprey of Santa Fe! Sweet guinea pig of Winnipeg!
But he's not a total stickler. In the episode Lethal Inspection, we learned that Hermes worked on the assembly line for Mom's Robot Factory, owned by Mom, a frequent antagonist of Planet Express. She's a conniving businesswoman with a massive conglomerate, Mom Corp, that has a monopoly on robot production. And that laugh. While working at the factory, Hermes stumbled upon a defective baby Bender who was slated for destruction. It's a touching moment. I dare say it's as sweet as candy.
You come crawling back for another taste of sweet, sweet candy. Bam.
I set myself up for that one, for sure. Leela is the tough-as-nails, one-eyed mutant captain of Planet Express who's not afraid to speak her mind or throw down with a trademark Hi-Yah against Amazonian giants. Her evil clone, and a plain old bag. Leela's full name is Turanga Leela, which is a reference to the Turanga Leela Symphony. The symphony is a piece of classical orchestral music.
Translation, boring.
That I'm not going to explain right now. Come on, how deep do you think we're going to go? Not that deep. Leela grew up in the sewers beneath New York, but never really had a home until she joined Planet Express. One of the major series anchors is her on-again, off-again relationship with Fry. Leela is voiced by Katie Seagal of Married with Children and Sons of Anarchy skateboarding fame. And then there's Nibbler, the cute little pet alien who can eat anything. And I mean, truly anything. Nibbler may seem like a simple-minded eating machine, but he actually has one of the biggest character arcs in the series. We eventually learn that his real name is Lord Nibbler and that he belongs to an ancient race of beings called the Nibblonians. He's an eloquent hero who simply wants to save the galaxy.
The universe is doomed. Doomed!
Can I pull up my pants now?
When Fry falls into the cryogenic chamber in the pilot episode, there's a quick shot of an unidentified shadow underneath Fry's chair. Pause it, it's right there, see? And in season 5's The Why of Fry, it's revealed that the shadow is Nibblers, who traveled back in time to intentionally knock Fry into the freezing chamber so that he can help them save Earth in the year 3000.
You made me go in the freezer tube?
We had no choice. You were the only one who could help us. What is one life weighed against the entire universe?
Does that make Fry any less of, an idiot?
Never bet against me being stupid.
No, it doesn't. Nibbler's appearance in the pilot is some insane foreshadowing, and also it's literal shadowing, that actually paid off. Do you hear that, Lost? It paid off. They set something up, and then they paid it off in the end because they had a damn plan. I mean, what was with the polar bears? Why were they there? Did they serve a function, or were you just like, I don't know, we have these leftover polar bears we could put in our show? And where was Walt? Did Walt die? Did I miss something? And look, do I even have to say it? Are they dead or not? Did the plane crash and they all died, or what? What? Okay, fine. Anyway, that's how you call back to the opening hook, folks.
Why did you do this?
Back to Futurama, because I could truly spend all day in the hatch. The show ran for 140 episodes, but it was actually canceled twice. Fox canceled it after its 4th season, which is when Cartoon Network bought the rights to the episodes and reran them on Adult Swim, introducing the show to a new generation of viewers. After that cancellation, due to the popularity of reruns on its own network, Comedy Central revived the show by producing 4 straight-to-DVD movies, which were later broken up into 18 episodes, which is now referred to as the 5th season, which includes Bender's Big Score, The Beast with a Billion Backs, Bender's Game, which is an Ender's Game pun for all us sci-fi nerds, and 2009's Into the Wild Green Yonder, which sounds like an episode of Little House on the Prairie and not this.
Quit touching my junk, pervert!
At the time, producers didn't expect the series to continue, so they wrote the final film with the intention of it serving as the show's finale. But due to the popularity of the films, Comedy Central picked the show up for the final 2 seasons in 2010. There have been a total of 4 series finales written for Futurama. Finally, the season 7 closer stuck. The episode, called Meanwhile, sees one of the professor's inventions go awry, naturally causing the universe to freeze in time for everybody except Leela and Fry. And they live their best life, they get married, and prepare to live out their dying days together.
If I could make one moment last forever, this is the one I would choose.
Until Professor Farnsworth appears and finds a loophole, literally.
We'll all get to live our lives over again? Oh my, yes.
That saves everyone, including that robot guy, whatever his name is.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
Anyway, what is your favorite episode of Futurama? Let us know in the comments below. Definitely not the comments above. What are you watching on?
Time for this robot to get back to work.